Welcome back, beautiful people, to the podcasting universe and world. My name is Frankie Rodriguez, and this is the Three Amigos podcast. We are three for three. That is right. We are back, all of us. It's been a minute, kind of, sort of. I don't know. We don't do these very often. We have different schedules. I keep saying that, and that's okay. But I got my co-host Anthony Olan, Christopher Langsdorff. What up, guys?
Hello.
Yo, yo. It
Uh,
actually has not been that long.
it
There have
hasn't. I
been,
know.
it might seem like that, but there's only been like a week between all three of us doing a video together.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did the video finally. That did really well.
Face reveal. Face reveal.
Yeah. But so today, guys, I figured we talk about a few things. Mainly, we're gonna talk video games at some point. We're gonna just chit chat about also the recent. I guess I don't know how to frame it. It's just basically D23, so it's mass media and everything, because that also includes games in a way. But or at least we thought it was gonna include games, but that was a total that's not what happened. But we're just gonna focus strictly on games today. We got footage from the new God of War game. We got more stuff for Pokemon coming out. A few more Pokemon were shown. Nintendo had their direct and announced what was it? GoldenEye, right? It was GoldenEye that got announced. It
Yeah.
was going to the Nintendo Switch. I thought that was pretty big for all those 90s kids. I grew up playing that game. Let's just jump right into it. What do you guys what was your biggest thing that came out of this last couple days, last week of gaming news? What's something that stood out to you? What are you excited for? What aren't you excited for? I know what I could tell you, but let's start out with you guys, and or if you want to go, or Chris, take it away.
So I didn't know that there was a second Pokemon Stadium,
Oh,
which
oh
is
my God, are you serious?
also, yeah,
Wow,
I didn't know.
bro. Wow.
I had no idea they
Wow,
made a second one, and
Resident Pokemon fanboy you are.
I never had a 64.
Nor did I,
You
but I
don't
still
need
played it.
a Nintendo
Exactly.
64 to know that game existed. Oh my God.
I mean,
I thought
you have friends that have that. Oh,
I thought
that's
it
right.
was
You didn't
Wow.
have
just
any friends. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
man, all my friends were too poor to afford one anyway.
Yeah, yeah, me included.
I
Anyways,
I I thought it was just the first stadium, and then they made Coliseum after that on the GameCube. But like,
no,
yeah, I had no
no,
idea.
no, Papa.
But yeah, other than that, GoldenEye was a big one. Like I never played that one either, but I've heard a lot of people, a
Really?
lot
You've
of
never played
yeah, I never
GoldenEye?
played it.
Holy shit,
The only
man.
one
You
I
Wow.
never
played,
played GoldenEye.
Chris, you played GoldenEye. I'm a little surprised.
Yeah, dude. I
I'd be
had
I
too
only
buddy
uh
for you.
played.
I
They
had a
made
cousin of mine
one.
had the game. We used to
That's
play it all the
awesome.
time.
That's
They made like a
awesome.
sequel to it on PlayStation 2, and it was okay, but that's the only one I played.
Oh,
But it
I think I know which one you're
wasn't.
talking about. I think I know which one you're talking about. I played that too. It
Yeah,
was fun. It was
they
fine.
they killed James Bond in the very first part of the first mission.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's you land, you're in a helicopter going to the mission, and it like crashes, and he's hanging from the helicopter, and it just falls and lands on him.
And that's it. That's the
And
end of
then
the game, right?
and I'm pretty sure they use Pierce Brosnan's face for the character. But yeah, I never played GoldenEye, so maybe I'll check it out with the N64 thing. The PlayStation event, the State of Play, a lot of Japanese stuff that I'm not really interested in. Some things I were interested in.
You
One of
want
the games
pure
I talked
American gaming,
about,
right?
huh?
You want pure American gaming. That's what you want,
All
right?
American, baby.
No.
USA, born
I
and
did
raised.
find out because I made a part about this game coming out called Like a Dragon that I thought was it looked pretty cool, but
Yeah, that
it's
looks
by
pretty sick.
Sega.
Yeah.
Found out it's part of the Yakuza franchise,
Oh, I
Hmm.
didn't know that.
and I never played the Yakuza franchise because it's Sega and Sega sucks. So other than it's just really getting ready for God of War and Pokemon and Bayonetta. Gotham Knights, and so mostly just Bayonetta, God of War, and Pokemon. But I
Uh,
think the most out of those three for me is God of War. Like I told you
oh,
guys, I was
sure.
gonna try to get a
Yeah.
PS5 for God of War, and I got the PS5, so now I'm ready for God of War.
Congratulations.
Thank you,
Congratulations.
thank you.
Yeah, Anthony's a new daddy. Got himself a little PlayStation baby.
He's collected all the consoles. He's got the Infinity Console Gauntlet.
The Thanos of the video game world.
Yeah, I mean, me and you had two out of the three. I mean, we all had all two out of the three, pretty much. We
Yeah.
had a variation. I had the Xbox Switch. You had the Xbox Switch, and then you had the PS5 Switch. But technically, the Switch is to last gen because there is an OLED out there. But is it really next gen console?
So
No.
I will say
No,
this, with Nintendo, that kind of pissed me off is
Mm-hmm.
why are they still doing those stupid cloud games? Like,
because the Switch is weak.
like it at that point, don't even put the game on the Switch. Like,
Yeah.
But they have such a dedicated fan base that people will still buy the cloud version. I don't know why,
I'm
but
curious of like, I want to know if there's a statistic out there that can show how many Nintendo Switch owners don't own at least a Xbox or a PlayStation, even if it's an Xbox One or a PS4. I am generally curious that those numbers exist because, and I could be wrong, but in my video that I made, I said if people who own Switch probably own another console that they could play those games on, probably.
I would say the opposite, bro. It's the cheapest system.
Yeah.
It's the cheapest for a reason. I think a lot of people, I mean, you gotta like with any industry, you gotta understand like most people are casuals.
Yeah.
Like most people don't have more than one video game system because they don't like care. Just it's like a chill whatever thing for them.
Right.
I'd be stunned if the majority of people had a Switch and something else. That just I
Yeah.
think we're in the minority.
I mean, I grew up just, purely on Nintendo handheld stuff because that was the cheapest to buy. That's what we could
Yeah.
afford. So, you know,
But you
yeah,
also had a PS2 with it. You also had the
not until later.
360.
Not until later. And that's when I switched over to console and I could afford a consoles. I didn't pick up a Nintendo anything until I got a Switch. So
Interesting.
yeah, the last thing I
It's
had was a SP. I didn't even have any of the DSs.
Yeah, the Switch is also marketed towards like a younger demographic. So
And
like
family
most of those
demographic, honestly.
people, yeah, like I would almost argue that more people maybe have or like multiple Switch consoles.
Yeah,
But
for the
Uh,
then
kids.
if you look at, let's say, these Resident Evil games, that's marketed for the older audiences who own a
Sure.
Switch. I'm pretty sure they own, those older people might own the other consoles to play it on. But like I said, it's not a fact or anything. I have no idea. I just think if they want to put these games on the Switch, they need to make a better, stronger console.
I mean, yeah, we've been saying that
You
since we
know,
started this
well, yeah,
podcast, and that's not going to
but
happen.
it's
nah,
the
they don't
thing
care.
about, because in my video I mentioned at that point you can get a Steam Deck and yeah, it'll be a little bit more expensive, but it can do a lot more. You can play
Yeah.
Spider-Man on the Steam Deck. You can play God of War on the Steam Deck. So
So,
But can you play Pokemon?
I'm sure you can emulate the older ones. That's for the
No,
current ones, probably
no,
not.
no.
You can't emulate the old ones?
Can't play the new ones. Old one now, man. We're talking about Scarlet and
you can play the
Violet.
old ones in
Can't
any
play those
way
on the Steam Deck.
possible.
So new ones, yeah, probably not. I mean, maybe in like a few years, sure,
Also,
but
why can't we play any older Pokemon games in the Nintendo bundle? Like,
It's
just
weird,
release them.
man.
Just
It's
release them.
weird.
especially because the 3DS had them. They had red, blue, yellow,
That's what I'm
crystal,
saying.
gold, and
See,
silver. Yeah.
Yeah.
they're a little.
Yeah.
I question sometimes what the gaming industry does sometimes. It's all re-releases, and I feel like we're just kind of talking in circles because this is all it has been. The gaming industry has been a couple like what years now. It's about remasters, re-releases, and barely any like development time for sequels, or really any original content. And I know original content is a triggering word for some people, and me included. But like, I'd like something new, out there. I would like something that will catch all of us. I mean, to be fair, Elden Ring seems to be like that was the biggest. I think is the biggest game of 2022 overall. But
Well, for the next couple months,
for the
it's
next
about
couple months,
about to be
absolutely,
overtaken when God
potentially,
of War comes out. Yeah.
So let
yeah.
me. I want to do a quick question about that. Since you brought up Elden Ring, and I don't know if this is related or not, but how long do you think you have to play a game to be able to judge if it's good or not?
I think you have to beat it and play it a
Okay.
few times,
What do
honestly.
you mean good? Like the story is good, like the
Like
Yeah.
combat, like
I
what do
I
you
know somebody who told me that Elden Ring was a really phenomenal game, and I checked their playtime. They only played like 30 minutes of it. And
I mean
so
it
That's
depends.
subjective and subjective,
Yeah, like
honestly.
it depends what your barometer of good means. Like if the combat is really good, you could probably tell that pretty quickly, I would think. If it's like
Yeah.
the story, then you'd probably have to beat the game to know if the story was any good.
It's
Like
really, yeah.
it's kind of a broad
Yeah,
question of
it's a
like,
broad question. It's like me just saying like I think Resident Evil is a good show. And I know you have a hard time putting these two things together, but like it's just an example. When it comes to like Resident Evil, like that show, I think it's a good show, but like in what that it's a broader general statement. I can break down what's good about it, but overall, like there's gonna be also bad things about it, but in the end, it's gonna be a good show for me at
yeah, I
least.
mean, like when I played Spider-Man PS4, I probably played way less than 30 minutes before I was like, this game is great.
Mm,
Like, so it kind of depends. Like, yeah, I mean, I also played like games that I thought were really good, and then you get to the end, and I'm like Uncharted 2, like get to the end of Uncharted 2, and you're kind of like, yeah, the ending was like all right. The game was awesome.
I
Like
don't
then
even
the
remember the
last
ending of
20 minutes
that.
are like, yeah, it's all
yeah,
right. So I don't know. It kind of depends what you're uh deciding is like what makes a game a good game, or and that's all subjective to you personally. It's like, some people don't care if the story is good if the combat is fun. It's like
mm,
Assassin's Creed. Like I remember Assassin's Creed 2. I had no idea what was going on in the story. But that game was fun as hell. Like just running around the city, just randomly assassinating civilians and people who deserved it. Uh, that was great. But if you ask me what that game was about, I have no idea.
mhm.
Literally no clue. But that game was awesome. But, kind of depends. Kind of depends.
Okay. What's something that I guess you're looking forward to for in terms of gaming? Or Chris, actually, let's move on to you. Sorry, I don't mean to skip you. What's something that stood out to you this past weekend, in terms of the gaming industry, gaming world? Yeah, it's something that you like, didn't like.
I thought God of War made a really strong statement on like how to market a video game because you're kind of seeing the opposite with a game like Gotham Knights,
Mm,
which I appreciate is like doing a ton of marketing and like doing a
sure.
ton of long, here's 20 minutes of gameplay, here's a boss fight, here's the first 30 minutes of the game, like
Hmm.
here's how Red Hood works. Here, like they're doing a lot, and then God of War in like a 3-minute trailer just like sold me on. I mean, I was already gonna buy it, but like if I
Yeah, yeah.
didn't know what God of War was, and then you showed me that trailer, I'd be like, I need a PlayStation. Where do I play this? I need whatever system this is on. I need it right now because that looks amazing. And it was just like a really good example. It's kind of like those movie trailers where like the Batman. You guys remember the Batman's movie, the first trailer they dropped, and we were like, we don't really know what's going on in this movie, but it looks awesome.
Yeah, because he's beating the living piss out of people.
Yeah, like yeah, the scene where he just like beats the crap out of that guy and then he
And
starts
kept
like
going,
hammer
kept going.
punching him. Um, but it was like a really good example of like, yeah, I know everybody complains about like, where's the gameplay? Sounds like Batman in the in the dark. Where's the gameplay? But sometimes if you put a really good trailer together, that's plenty. Like I think
Sure.
it wouldn't surprise me if they do the same thing with Spider-Man 2. Just like
Hmm.
people are gonna buy it. Like
Hmm.
you're not really even marketing towards the people who are gonna buy it. You're trying to market towards the people who are like, what's this God of War thing? I guess this is someone that owns a PlayStation and somehow has no idea what God of War is. Um, but like if you show them that trailer, they'd be like, holy shit, this looks crazy.
It's
Like
kind
I
of
haven't
like
I haven't seen a
that.
video game trailer like that in a while. If Gotham Knights put a trailer like that together, they wouldn't have to do like 30 different gameplay previews of the game.
See,
Just
that's what I
like,
wonder about that. Like, it's kind of like the whole less is more kind of thing. Because I feel like there's games that we see a lot of gameplay for it, and we're like, this doesn't look that interesting, or maybe we're seeing too much of it, and then the game doesn't
yeah.
do so well. Saints Row had a lot of gameplay and it really didn't do good at all.
No.
Um, God of War, basically, I mean, they're showing gameplay now, but it's not like here's 20 minutes of gameplay because you don't want to see that and think, yeah, this just looks okay. Like they have a reason to not show you everything, but like I think with Gotham Knights, they have to show us as much as they're showing us because
Hmm.
maybe they feel no one's gonna buy it, or not many people are gonna buy it, not many people are interested in it. I'm not really that interested in it at all. My brother's only buying it because it's a freaking Batman title. He has no other reason to buy it. So it's like, I have no real interest in, something like that. But I just feel like I noticed some games do a lot of gameplay videos and they don't really do like as good. Like I had no idea what Elden Ring was for a long time, and it
Mm.
released, everyone loved it, and I was like, oh, it's a Souls game. Okay, I didn't know, and I didn't see any gameplay of it at the time. It was just trailers. So I
Mm.
don't know. It's weird. It's a weird
Yeah, well, I
phenomenon.
thought that God of War trailer really blew me away. Um, in terms of upcoming games, I can't remember being like as excited for that as I am. It's been a long time. But that was great. It was a good presentation, but that Sony knows, man. They know. God of War, if you want to get everyone to stop talking about what a greedy corporation you are, just show them a 3-minute kick-ass God of War trailer, and we will completely forget that you raised the price of the PlayStation in every country except America.
It's like because when you mentioned that thing about being excited for a game like this, I think the last time I was legit excited about a game like this was Spider-Man PS4 because like I went out and pre-ordered the PS4 bundle and um
Wow.
like I bought the freaking console with it and um I was just excited for that. Like when Scarlet and Violet trailers were out, I was like, okay, Pokemon. I was a little bit Pokemoned out, yeah, I remember. And then some more came out and I got a bit more excited, back into it. But yeah, God of War got me like excited. Spider-Man was the last time I think I felt really excited for a game like that. And also Red Dead 2. Like that's another one where I was just like, holy shit,
Yeah.
like I can't wait.
Yeah, honestly, probably also I like, regardless of what you think of the game, I would say Kingdom Hearts 3 probably had me also like super hyped. But that was a lot of that was built on the fact that we legit like never thought that game would ever come out. Just like there was what like 15 years between Kingdom Hearts 2 and Kingdom Hearts 3. Like I remember picking that up at Best Buy and I was like, I can't believe I'm holding Kingdom Hearts 3. Like I remember back in like middle school when we would watch like those fuzzy ass trailers on YouTube. I'm just like, oh no, this is gonna be Kingdom Hearts 3. It's gonna look so sick. Middle school. Middle school. That is how long, that's how much time passed.
That's been what,
Uh,
almost 15 years?
yeah, dude. So like, yeah, God of War 2, especially just like the track record of what they did with the first one, or like the new take on the series. I'm really excited. What about you, Frankie?
For me, I'm just excited to for this year, honestly, just to be done and over with gaming. I feel like I've just been so out of touch with it. Um, but at the same time, I'm like somewhat excited still for some things. Like I have the potential to get a PlayStation 5 by the end of the year and to finally indulge in other games and might retire my Xbox for a little bit for once. Or but then again, then there's Pokemon coming out. And then that's why I think, maybe the year should just be over and I should just play no games because it's a little bit overwhelming. That's why I don't play games that much anymore. It's just because like I'll play even competitively. I don't play to be competitive anymore. I just play to socialize here and there. Even then, like it's a little like not disheartening. It's just like it doesn't give me that drive that it once gave me. But the one that would potentially do it for me, and if I just stay committed, is Pokemon. Because it's the nostalgia and nostalgia sells. We've all talked about that. Everyone, every podcast, every video personality, every internet influencer, every famous person knows who has talked about it knows that sells. Nostalgia sells. That's hard to say when you're trying to say it fast. Um,
And co-op, bro.
co-op.
Co-op.
Yes. All
Dude, we're
right.
gonna
See,
be
see.
playing the Pokemon story together.
Yes.
Like,
Men in their
what?
30s. Hell yeah. The shit
Oh
we've been
my
wanting since we were fucking 10,
Like, look,
20 years
guys,
later,
we're old. We are old men at this point. So to
basically.
everyone listening, maybe we're dating ourselves too hard here, but we are from the link cable generation.
Oh
All
God.
right. If y'all don't remember the link cable generation, you will not appreciate how excited we are to get to play the games together.
I was so hyped when they came out with the wireless adapter, and the only way to get it
Oh
though was to get the
my
Fire
God.
Red game. Yo, I was like, yeah, fuck
So that was
yeah.
back in the day when you had to like you didn't nobody really knew what the range was on like those wireless adapters. So you just
It was
basically
so
had to
short.
literally be like sitting right next
It
to
was
each
so
other.
short.
No,
It,
Yo,
here's
it,
yo,
what pissed me off.
don't mess up the
So
Wi-Fi.
I bought the game later on to the point where it was no longer included. So I didn't
ah,
get the wireless adapter when I
Ah,
ah.
bought it.
Did you have to buy it from someone or trade like a
No,
Pokemon
I just
card
didn't
for it?
buy it. I just didn't trade with anybody.
Oh shit. Yeah, you
damn.
I
missed
think
out, kid.
somehow you and I traded because you
I
ended up getting me
somehow,
your Omanite, and I lost it when I evolved it to Omastar.
bitch.
Damn. Greedy
But you,
Nintendo. See, all
but
the
you
way
did
back
help
then,
me.
Nintendo was
You
greedy
did
as
help
hell.
me
We
get
just didn't
150
know.
Pokemon cartridge for the Pokédex. So,
Jeez.
um,
Nah, but they
so
also had the Johto. They also had Johto Pokemon in Fire Red.
yeah, I didn't care about those. I just
Yeah.
wanted the 150 Pokédex.
Dude, we should have
Um,
gone back and like looked up that Fire Red Pokédex. That game had a great Pokédex.
That game was nuts. You
Then
oh,
but
again, there
you also
wasn't that
could
many
put
Pokemon.
you could also put Ruby Pokemon in the game. It's great. That
Yeah.
was really rad. That was like the start of the future for Pokemon in terms of like how
Yeah.
to like move things around. But yes, I'm excited for Pokemon, and as we're hyping it up more. It's like yeah, like that's probably the game that'll help me finish the year stronger, I guess, with gaming. Even then, I'm not done with. Oh God, I'm not even done with Legend of Arceus.
Yeah. I
Oh
didn't beat
damn,
that yet. I took a
it
I
got too
took a
competitive
pause.
for me. But and I really want to beat the story, so I have to like really like get back on the horse because I that at one point like early in the summer I was committed to that game. And I stopped
Dude,
because it
you're
got too
telling me I
repetitive.
was fucking
You
shiny
were,
hunting like five
yeah, you
hours a
were.
day,
You were
bro.
sending us everything shiny related.
Still never got a shiny Scyther. Maxed out the Pokédex.
Damn.
I was going crazy trying to catch a shiny Scyther. Just man, like big ups to anybody who like actually does shiny hunting consistently because that
Word.
shit is exhausting.
Exactly.
No
It's
trophies either. All right, this isn't like there's no achievements. Like I don't know how Nintendo doesn't have that, but like you're literally doing it just for yourself, just for
mhm.
a fictional digital creature
Yeah.
that isn't real, but it also is.
Yeah. With all the gaming stuff uh being talked about, the one downside that I wanted to talk about was the resignation of what was her name? From 343 Industries.
Bonnie Ross.
Bonnie Ross, yes. Bonnie Ross. There's a lot of speculation on why she resigned. Some saying that she was going to be fired. Some, she put out a statement saying health or family emergency and wanting to focus on that. There's a lot of stuff going out about that, and there's a lot of hate being thrown around. So like that was been like disappointing, and like kind of bringing back the toxicity of what gaming is, and like I hate it. Um, People are just very entitled. I get why you're upset. Like I love Halo. I've been playing Halo since I was a little boy, a wee little lad. But I'm to the point where I'm a grown ass adult. The game doesn't do it for me that much to me. I haven't played it in like 2 months. I stopped grinding it.
Mm,
Maybe more now. I stopped grinding. I was at some point excited to try co-op, but at this point, like it's not. That's not doesn't do it for me. I rather just play the Master Chief Collection if I wanted to do something fun co-op with my friends. But it's fine. I'm over it. It's sad because it is a very beautiful game. They did a lot of people. That team put a lot of work into it, and it could have been better. And they still can't deliver what it should be at this point. At least they delayed it. That was a good thing they did. The game so far came out great. The story was fun. Not to everybody, but at the end of the day, it's still technically an incomplete game. So I guess with Microsoft side and Xbox side, there's not much traction. I'm not gonna torch them for that. Maybe yes, maybe biases and all, but like there's no reason for them to torch. If they don't have anything, they don't have anything. What are you gonna do? But like the toxicity side of gaming and just what's the word? These people that just think they're owed something. Like it's
yeah.
like it gets annoying, and so like that's shitty.
Do you
Um,
think there's any justification though to um her sort of single-handedly ruining the whole franchise?
no, I don't think so.
Like Halo Infinite, in addition to it being delayed for a full year after it got roasted, they then launched the game completely bare bones, and then recently announced that they were just scrapping certain things that they had promised
Yeah.
the people who either bought the game or have Game Pass primarily to play Halo. And then, you know, very shortly after they announced that they were cutting these features, this woman resigns due to, according to her, a health thing within the family.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, I mean, I hate the I mean, I hate any fan base that feels like they're owed something, but
Star Wars,
I do think
Disney,
in
Marvel.
this instance 343 was her idea, and I think a lot of people would pin the decline of Halo on when Bungie split from Xbox and 343 took over the series.
That depends on who you ask, because I liked Halo 4 a lot. I thought it was a great
But
game.
I'm like the majority of the new Halo games.
Well,
Like,
that was 343 though. That's what I'm
yes.
saying. That's one of the new games. Like that
Yeah,
was
yeah,
good.
but I'm saying
Halo
like
5
Halo
was a
4, Halo
success.
5,
Halo
Halo
5 was a
Infinite.
success to some other people. For me, it wasn't. I thought uh it was a terrible campaign, and I didn't like the multiplayer that much. And then when the Halo Infinite comes, I actually like the story and I actually like the multiplayer. And people overall, I would say, like the campaign for the most part. If you're a dedicated Halo fan, it does justice to the lore, the Easter egg hunting and all like the storytelling and the video stuff. That's everything you ever wanted. That's how you grew up playing the game. That's what you did. So it's there for you. The multiplayer is left to be desired for. As fun as it is, you probably had fun for a month. You got to take a break and then pick it back up again. I did that a few times and then I just realized I can't keep doing this. I need more. I need more sustenance.
Here's what I
Mm.
wonder. How many people actually bought Halo Infinite? It was on Game Pass at release, and
I mean, you could
so
just check the sales. It's pretty easy
because I would figure
and
if there's
compare
people
it.
who bought it, right, whatever reason it is, like I'm a physical collector kind of guy, but I think, well, let me not say that. Say what I was gonna say because I'm kind of just correcting my own self when I'm thinking about it. Of like,
You tend to
even
just
though
like say stuff out of the moment, dude. So, but I get it. I mean, so do I.
because so the original thought was like if you had Game Pass or you didn't have Game Pass, it's not a huge loss if you
Hmm.
pay a 1 month and try Halo. But then if you like it and you want to buy it, you're adding another 15 to a purchase that's
Hmm.
already $60. But at the same time, it's the franchise you love, you're trusting it, so you're gonna go buy it. So
Yeah.
I'm just correcting myself, so I'm not gonna
Yeah.
um
Well, so
but
look,
I
just to give you an idea, uh, 1 second. Apparently, it's so 20 million people. It's sold to 20 million. So 20 million people have bought a copy of Halo Infinite.
No, they never released the sales numbers.
Mm,
Didn't officially
mm,
confirm how many titles
really?
of Halo Infinite sold. It did show up in the number two best-selling games of 2021, December 2021, so the month it
Well,
came out.
it said, yeah, it said it debuted number two as the best-selling game of December, but that's not saying
But
much other
that's
than.
like what Netflix does. Like they don't give
Oh yeah,
official
yeah,
numbers
absolutely. Yeah, that's great.
because
Yeah, yeah.
Microsoft doesn't want because the number is going to be lower. Like Game Pass has 20 million subscribers. 20 million people are not also then buying Halo Infinite. So they
Yeah,
don't
you're
want to
right.
give
They
the
didn't
lower
release it.
number. They just want to say 20 million people played it. Who cares how many of them actually?
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
it depends what you consider because like buying a copy is like it's becoming a dated term. So like if you have Game Pass and you play Halo 3 for what 3 to 4 months, that's the cost of buying the game at retail anyway.
Hmm.
So it's like does buying is comparing like physical sales even worth it with a Game
Digital.
Pass game?
Yeah, it's tough to say nowadays. Because the reason also like I was gonna add on to Ant's thing is like I was gonna roast Microsoft for this is like if it's true that if the numbers that I was seeing were true and they're not, but if it was 20 million people actually bought this game, look at the numbers now. That's a huge decline, destructive decline, and it's just telling this decline that says like you don't know how to entertain your fan base anymore. This is a beloved fan base, and they're turning on you. So, but
It is kind
teach
of
their own.
sad because Master Chief, at least, when we were growing up, I don't know if it's still this way or will be going forward, but he was the Xbox mascot. And
Sure.
like to see the uncertainty around that franchise, which by the way, when they launched that game, they said Halo Infinite was like 10 years of content was planned. So that's clearly not was never true. Or
Mhm.
maybe it was true and then it very quickly wasn't. But it's kind of just sad to see like a legendary mascot like that and a legendary franchise on such shaky ground going forward.
Yeah, I don't know. Before we end this, I wanted to ask, what's the game you're most looking forward to by the end of this year? Now that we've seen more stuff and announcements and for sure confirmed dates, what's the game you're gonna buy day one and most excited about? For me, I'll go. So first, I'll probably gonna buy a Pokemon game for once on day one.
Wow.
For once, it's gonna be me, and I might actually buy one other game in November because it's two games. And it's gonna be probably Call of Duty 2. I didn't get into it because I didn't want to be the classic shooter boy, but Call of Duty brought me back into the Call of Duty franchise. Warzone and Modern Warfare brought me back into anything
Mm,
COD related. So I'm excited
It's playing
for
Warzone.
so I'm excited for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. So
nice. Nice. What about you, Anthony?
God of War.
I
Yeah.
figured.
Like, I don't know the time difference between Bayonetta's release and Gotham Knight's release, but if I have to choose one of those two, it's gonna most likely be Bayonetta. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, God of War. I mean, I already got God of War pre-ordered. I have the collector's pre-ordered. It's mostly paid off,
Mm. I
and I'm
already
gonna have
see
to.
it. He's gonna go on his little binge, like when it's like it's Star Wars or Marvel. It's gonna be God of War. Now he's gonna be buying God of War shirts, a hat, gonna get like a ring. Gonna buy like swords and dress up like Kratos for Halloween.
Well, I'm actually trying to do a Kratos skit for the video review when I
Exactly.
get it.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm
So.
sure you'll be shaving your head and putting some blood on your face. How about you, Chris?
I just wanted to say those two games come out a week apart. And
I
if I were you,
know.
Anthony, I would get Bayonetta 3 because Gotham Knights, I think, is going to go on sale pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Um,
Gotham Knights
it's honestly tough. I think it's God of War by a hair,
by a
just
hair.
because, just honestly, because of that trailer. Like, I was excited for God of War, and just like to dive back into that world. And I was talking to Anthony previously. It was like I'm
Mhm.
excited to like play through the first one again, just to get like even more hyped. But after that trailer, I was like, damn. I mean, I love Pokemon, and Gen 9 looks sick, and those games look amazing. But after that God of War trailer, I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be God of War.
Well,
Pokemon's gonna have to wait a little bit.
if
Have
it
to wait
makes
a
you
little bit.
feel better, I started playing God of War last night.
Yeah, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back
Yeah.
in. But it's really close. It's like 55% God of War, 45% Pokemon, because I don't want to discount that Scarlet and Violet look amazing. They look like the best Pokemon games ever made. I'm excited to play through them with you guys.
Yeah,
And the end of the year, it was a little bit of a rocky year in gaming, a lot of delays, but I think we're gonna end it on a bang.
I think so too. And with that, I bid you adieu. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to our podcast, watching, hearing it, seeing it, wherever you are on YouTube, Spotify. Thank you so much for listening. This is the Three Amigos podcast. My name is Frankie Rodriguez, Anthony Ola, Christopher Langsdorff, and we will catch you in the next one. Peace.